Today, I'm going to be showing you the very best way to go ahead and get as many sunflowers as humanly possible inside of Grow Garden. As you can see, I currently have 3 over here with a bunch of mutations, and these sell for a ridiculous amount of money. So these are some of the best in the game. If you're going, obviously, plant-wise, these are obviously some of the best in the entire game. So if I grab, I think this middle one right here, you'll see it's worth like ridiculous amount of money. I think it will sell for a couple million, and if you get enough mutations on it, it will literally sell for close to $1 billion. I'm going to be showing you the very best way, my effective way for farming honey. That way I can buy seed packs and make the most amount of money, and of course buy as many as humanly possible. So let's go ahead and get around this video. So the very first thing I want to mention is obviously you can use this method right here, which is just straight up buying packs and kind of spending money and Robux to potentially get one of these. Personally, I don't like that method. I don't like spending a ton of money, so I'm going to show you the free method that I use, and this is the best, most effective working method to farming honey so that way you can buy a ton of them. So let me go ahead and open up this right here. As you can see, I have 1,400 and I want to trade in honey. As you can see, we can buy these seed packs and then open them. So if I head over to my garden, we can see seed. We go ahead and open this. Now, obviously, they're kind of rare to get, so I want to show you the fastest way. Basically, farm as many of these as possible before this update goes away, because this update does end June 7th, which is in 5 days. So you guys have 5 days left. So, obviously, be ready for that. Alrighty, so let's head over to the middle shop, where I will real quick explain how you can use this method, how it works, and basically show you it working and all that good stuff. So if we head over to this shop right here, which is going to be the honey shop. Now, note, the honey shop is where we're going to trade in all of our pollinated plants for as much money as we can possibly get. By using the kgs, it will turn it into honey, but it has to be pollinated plant. So let's go ahead and open up my pollinated. I don't actually have any pollinated, so I'm gonna head over to my garden and I'm gonna wait to see one that's shocked that it's not pollinated. I just need to find one that's pollinated. I know I have a bunch over here. Wait, shoot, this one's pollinated, so I'm gonna head over and I'll show you basically how I'm going to farm this. But just note that the moon melons are some of the best for getting kg. Obviously, this was kind of a waste, but there we go. Compressor has started. It will literally pretty much fill up your entire kg if you have a bunch of pollinated moon melons. That is not the method I'm showing you. That's just a little side note if you're interested. So this is going to start. We're going to get honey, and then we can go ahead and buy a ton of flowers. Why I was telling you that is because you basically need to know 2 things. Our goal is to get as much honey as possible, but we need a lot of pollen to get that. And how do we get pollen? We get it from the swarm event right here, which one will start in 5 minutes, and I'll show you what that looks like. But we also have bees, right? And bees are going to pollinate. Now, you need, of course, honey to buy more bees. So it's kind of a little loop that you have to get into. So once you're into the loop, basically, and you've bought your first eggs, and you're making a bunch of money from these bees, let me kind of explain what you need to do. So as you can see, I have currently pet equip slots, and I have 6 of them, right? 6 of 6. But there's actually a way to expand that so that we can get more bees and we can pollinate more of these right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head all the way over to the pet shop, right? And you guys probably already know this, but please pay attention exactly to what I'm about to tell you, because if you don't use this and follow this exactly how I tell you, then it's not going to work anywhere near as good for you. So we obviously want it to work, so you should listen up. And yeah, we're going to make it over to the new pet eggs, open this up, and then click on show me pet info. This is where you're going to click, and then you're going to see trade in pets for extra pet equip slots. So you have the +1, the +2, the +3, the +4, and the +5. The +5 is the extra max, but then basically what you do is you trade in your pets once they reach a certain. So required age for next pet slot for me is going to be 60. So I need a pet that is 60. And as you can see over here, I do not have a single one that is 60 quite yet, which I'm obviously working towards. You need to try to max out your pet equip slots, because the more you have, the more pollen you're going to make. But let me show you another quick method to get more pollen. That way you can get these packs and then ultimately buy the sunflower way faster. This is another method that I would highly recommend using, and that is going to be simply just literally AFKing in here with an auto clicker. So if we go ahead and look up auto clicker, and then we open this up, should open, taking a second to open, auto, here we are. If we go ahead and use this on the garden, we will be able to AFK here without getting disconnected, and we're going to basically allow this swarm event to happen more and for our bees to pollinate, which means when we get back, we're gonna have a lot more pollinated plants that we can trade in for honey. Now, keep in mind, this does take 3 minutes to convert. So if you're wanting to grind honey more effectively, there's not really a better way to than the method I just showed you, which is going to be AFKing and trying to make literally as much money as possible, or as much honey as possible. So let's wait for this to not decompose. Let's wait for this to kind of come down. That way I can show you what you need to do next. There isn't actually a way to increase your chances of getting this, which is the one downside to the flower packs. And they're also only in stock, I believe, every 30 minutes. So if you want to get a lot of them, you can either pay Robux for them, or of course you can just buy them from here. But it's the exact same price. You can pay $1.99 for 1 pack, or you can pay $1.99 from here. So it's literally the exact same thing. You might as well just buy if you're gonna spend Robux, but you don't have to spend Robux. Okay, we collected it and it just gave us 10 honey. Now obviously if we save up 40 of those, we'll be able to buy a pack for ourselves. But really it isn't too bad if you employ the methods that I already showed you. And then obviously the moon melons give you a ton of kg. So if you want to get a bunch of pollinated stuff, as you can see, all this yellow stuff here is stuff that's already pollinated for me. If you want to use that, that is the strategy. I would recommend getting a lot of moon melons, because those are going to help help you a lot. Now, moon melons are out of the game. However, I do have 5 moon melon seeds, so that is something to keep in mind. Moon melons have been completely removed from the game, so the ones you have now are the ones you can use. Use moon melons, though. They're very, very overpowered, especially for getting a lot of pollen and getting high stat points inside of the game. Again, we have a bunch of pollinated stuff pretty much all over our garden that we can go ahead and trade in for. It's not that hard, honestly, to get all of this stuff. So if that's something you're aiming for, if that's something you're looking at, then obviously highly recommend moon melons because they're going to help you make as much money as possible and ultimately help you buy the sunflowers. Now, I want to show you real quick how much the sunflowers actually go for because I've been yapping a little bit in this video and I haven't actually showed you how much they sell for. So if I grab one of these, let's see if it will let me grab, I'll just grab one. We have a pollinated sunflower. So just note that some of these have mutations on them. So they're going to sell for a bit more than the normal average price would. We're going to go to the garden. So this is one of them. This is a pretty big sunflower. Let's go ahead and see how much it is worth. How much is this worth? And you'll see that this is worth around 2 million, which is pretty good, having pollinated and that. So let's see, frozen. And then, yeah, so all of these are going to sell for that much. And then I want to sell my inventory and we should make around 10 million. Oh, that's only 5 million. Okay. We made 5 million off of just 3 sunflowers. So they're pretty overpowered, especially if you want to make a ton of money really, really quickly inside of Grow a Garden. If you guys did enjoy this video though, or you have any questions, please make sure to comment them down below. I do enjoy taking feedback, any of that good stuff. If you guys have any new methods that you found